welcome to American Whiskey. As always, I'm your host, Big Sturge. We got Dougie Fresh.
What's up?
Justice League.
How's it going, guys?
Be Not.
What's up, everybody?
Firehouse Shine Company owner. We do got John Betts.
What's going on, guys?
Today, we're going to talk about Kris Fortner. Coonpecker Kris Fortner. Say hi.
How y'all doing?
And he likes to talk about peckers, so we will do that. So grab a beer, grab a whiskey, grab a shine, grab whatever it is you like to sip on. It seems lately we sip on a lot of wine, so if you want to grab that, do it. Sit back, relax. Let's enjoy this Peckin' Talkin' Tuesday. Peckin' Talkin' Tuesday. That's pretty solid. That's a solid name.
Great name.
It's a great name. We're glad you guys are here. We're excited to sit down with Mr. Fortner, talk about the journey that he's in right now. And let's get started, boys. All right, so before we get started, as you can tell in front of our desk, our best friends at Burned Out Winery have the best winery that you can, best wine that you can possibly drink. We've all had it. It's really, really good. Kris Fortner has unfortunately not had it, but maybe we'll change that and get him a bottle. So
While you're on that subject, go ahead and let everybody know their post earlier.
I have not been on Facebook today.
Oh, I thought you shared it today. This month. Before you went to work.
You want to share it? Go ahead.
Might have been Dylan.
What was it?
Well, it's just where they're being voted for Dayton business.
Yeah, best winery.
Best
Dayton.
winery,
Yeah, everybody needs to go and
I did share that.
find that. I shared it. Go and vote for them.
It's real simple to do it. You can do it a couple times a day until they win it. So, what is that? It's your phone? Yeah, it's your phone. All right. So let's play Burned Out Wineries commercial. If you're looking for a unique wine experience, check out Burned Out Winery. Founded by a team of siblings who turned their passion for winemaking into a thriving business. They focus on crafting exceptional small batch wines from Moscato to tart cherry and spiced apple to their delightful sangrias. There's something for everyone. Each bottle tells a story, complete with a creative name that reflects their journey. Their wines are not only fantastic, but they're also affordable, making them a great choice for any occasion. You can easily order online at burnedoutwinery.com or connect with them on Facebook. They deliver. Whether you're local or out of state, they'll ship right to your front door. Support this hardworking team and savor the taste of Burned Out Winery. This is Big Sturge with American Whiskey. All right, guys. So thanks again to Burned Out Winery. We love you guys. So today we do have Kris Fortner on. A lot of us know him as the Coonpecker guy. Welcome to the show, brother.
Thank y'all, man, for having me.
Of course, man. We're excited to have you on, and it's it seems like a topic that needs to be talked about because it sounds like you're making some moves and doing it rather successfully. I think we have one of your cases on the.
The keychain.
It even comes with a cool case. But Mr. Vince is along with us today as well. I give John all the props here for getting you on here because I started a new job. We've all actually two of us started new jobs, so we haven't had a lot of time to get people on here. So we're excited to be able to get on here, and I appreciate you, John, for putting in the legwork doing that. We've never had somebody do something like that, so we appreciate it. So, but yeah, just tell us a little bit about yourself. And John, I know you've worked on this, so give the reins to you guys.
Well, I'm pretty simple kind of fella. I've always been inspired by the world of moonshine, the roots of it, and it means a lot more to me to make something good and learn how to make it better. My grandfather was a moonshiner, and I guess that's where it all started. He passed away when my daddy was about 10, so I didn't get to meet him. So I just got to hear like stories and stuff from my grandmother. And kind of, I don't know, the TV show come on years ago, that kind of inspired it. And you'd hear stories before that too. So like, I just wanted to know why and how. Got into it. About moonshine. That's that part. But along that journey, after I got there, I got sick. I got bit by a tick, picking berries in the woods, trying to make something good, and ended up with Lyme disease. And
Now, Tracy called that something different earlier when I talked to him today.
oh yeah,
Rocky Mountain something disease.
that's another part you can get as well. I didn't get that part.
Okay.
I got spinal line meningitis. It got on a little bit of my spine, and I got a couple spots on my brain. So still with the moonshine kind of ingested in my life, that's all I eat, sleep, and breathe, and think about. A lot of my symptoms really messed up my focus and my nerves and stuff. So one day I was kind of like going through it tough, and I went in my bedroom and like nerves all tore up, and my kids had bought me this little file set. It's like 3 or 4 inch long files. And I was sitting there and I had a piece of copper, and I just started going at it with the file on that piece of copper. And I made a coon pecker. And I was like, well, man, that worked out pretty good. It turned out nice, and it got me through a hard time. So every time I had a little hard time, I started filing the hell out of copper, and I kept them in my pocket.
You make those by hand. So that first one that you made, how long did it take you to get that to that final product?
Well, it was a while because I just literally get through that spot and then go back later and grab it again and file it before I knew what I was making, honestly. And that's what I ended up with. But like, I was trying to make something. I don't want to sound crazy or nothing, but like, I was just sitting there. I really love copper and like fooling with it. And I ended up with one, and then being still sick and stuff, I'd made several of them, and they had a beard contest in Tennessee at Adventure Distilling Company, and I entered it. And I'm not one to like step out, but where I'd been sick, I kind of let my beard grow out and didn't really care because I was laying around a lot, couldn't get around like I normally could because I'm a country boy. I don't like to sit, and I stay pretty busy. I like to get in the woods and get out and about and do it myself kind of guy. And I went and entered that, and I met JB Rader, and Pam Sutton was a judge, and I ended up winning the beard contest. And I had a few there, and it's kind of like, I don't know, everything rest is like I kept them in my pocket. I ended up with a job being a brand ambassador for South Mountain Distilling Company. Bumped back into them at the Popcorn Jam a little bit while longer after that, and asked them if they needed anybody to ever help promote their liquors in West Virginia, that I would love to have an opportunity. And along my journey, I wore my coon peckers in my hat. I'd made me a festive moonshine hat because I like to celebrate it. I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
I went out and had a bunch of doctor's appointments, like in Charleston area, Morgantown area. And everywhere I went, I had my hat on with my coon peckers in it, grabbing door handles, and made some contacts, face to face, real contacts with folks, and got the liquors in the stores. And the coon peckers was always in my pocket and always in my hat. And I was kind of giving them to folks here and there, small child, like that. And maybe somebody that didn't know much about moonshine, I'd give them one. And, JB used to watch me make a bunch of them. And he told me, he said, son, them take you a long time to make. You should start selling them. And I started selling them, and then got fortunate enough, North Georgia Steel Company and Tracy at Ace Custom Copper picked me up. I think Tracy picked me up first, and he started buying them and helping me out and putting them in the hands of all the distillers and people that want them in the world. And it's been pretty cool because getting to put a little piece of love into the moonshine world made from my hands, and that means so much to me.
Yeah, that first batch that you sent, Tracy, that was down there at Summer Jam, was it not?
Yeah, I think that was.
'Cause
I think it was.
you brought them by and seen the big steel, and I told you I'd deliver them to him.
Yes, sir. That's exactly it.
That's how I got mine. I took it right out of that package of them, and I told Tracy, I said, I got a trade for you. So, yeah,
Yeah.
we done a little swapping.
So
It never really was about the money. It was more about putting something out there I made with my hands into the world of moonshine. And I couldn't have planned it to work out the way it ended up making me a few dollars. I don't make a bunch of money. It takes a lot of time because I make them right. They
But I
mean
think,
something.
when you get into a situation in life, sometimes you can get in your own head. Actually, Levi and I just wrote a song called "I Swear," and it's about getting depressed and getting down, and sometimes it's difficult to find something to help get you back up, and
Yeah.
to find something like that and not fall elsewhere, because obviously you can fall in a bad place real quick. But it's really cool to hear the fact that the world of moonshine and just I call it an art, right? It's an art of moonshine. It's something that I think we can all speak on. It's brought a lot of joy to our lives. And I actually didn't know that you hand did it. Like, I didn't realize that you hand sanded them, or
So that's why his logo that he has on some T-shirts is running a pecker business by hand.
yeah.
It's legit. Yeah.
I didn't know, and I just I didn't want to.
So
Yeah, I actually started following you on Facebook. That's where I got mine. I ordered it directly from you.
Overachiever.
Actually, we owe you one. We'll find it. It's down here somewhere.
So, Kris, I got a question for you. I know it's hard to track these kind of things, but what's the farthest that you know of one of your coon peckers has made it?
Dude, honestly, I'm proud to say I'm pretty sure I've got at least one in about every state of the United States, and a few different countries. JB told me he gave one or so to a lady in the Bahamas when he went to the Bahamas. They're a little bit everywhere. I've got one in Mexico. Got them. I think Andrew from North Georgia told me that a gentleman from New Zealand got one. But it's cool because it's not necessarily something that you have to use for moonshine. It can be also like a conversation piece, just like a little piece of Appalachian in your pocket kind of thing, or on your keychain. It's pretty cool.
Got a little bit of history.
If I'm not running, of course, mine's got that Peyronie's disease here.
Uh-oh.
But if I'm not running when I make a drink, I use it to stir my old fashions with. So
They work good. Yeah.
There's all kinds of shit you can use them for, and like you said, it's not something you have to use. I mean, we talked. Sturge put a piece of wire in his. I've seen him put sticks in it, but a lot of people want to use them. So that's the big thing. You put a product out there that everyone wants to use them. So,
and I found about them, they're easy to keep clean.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, you get a real coon pecker, and it's like they'll get green and they'll get kind of gross. And we've used yours, Phil, and it's worked well.
Yeah, I mean, it's even if you don't use them, just to have it around. I mean, it's nice quality. You get a great case.
A conversation piece, like, hey, what is that? Let me tell you.
Yeah, it's a little bit like I actually had. I'm pretty sure this guy was the state senator in West Virginia. I was at a trade show event, and where I had my coon peckers in my hat, like I always do, crossed up. And he come over with a bunch of people with him, and he said, "Son," he said, "will you please tell me what that is in your hat? Explain to these ladies and these folks what that is in your hat." I said, "Do you really want me to just say it?" Because, they were all fancied up kind of folks, not saying anything, but just trying to be decent. But I'm trying to also make the word pecker good again. Yeah. But I said, it's a coon pecker. And he said, that is awesome. And they just thought that was the coolest thing. And, I guarantee you all of them or some of them looked up about what a coonpecker is in Appalachian, and they learned something. And that's so cool because I didn't plan for that kind of thing to happen. This happened a bunch. It means a lot.
So you
So,
said,
go ahead, sir. No,
well,
you go ahead.
I am curious. So you said you like messing with copper. What experience do you have with copper? Do you make stills, or what was the reason that you had a copper piece in your hand? I guess what's your history with it?
I got a little bit of copper a while back, and I made my first steel. I didn't know how. I didn't have a coattail or nobody around to explain to me how to do it. I just wanted to, and I learned how. I put it together, and I made me a steel. And from then on, I was like, well, heck, man, I could do this. And I just learned how and did it my way, and it worked. And
Talk about
so,
your
like,
still. How big was it?
it was a 20 gallon. And
Traditional.
yes, sir. I dough up and oatmeal, and I wanted to do that. I wanted to kind of put myself in the shoes of a moonshiner years ago. For the longest time, I didn't have a proofer or nothing like that. It was kind of funny. I would run or something, and I would catch it on a spoon. And when I would stop running, it would if I'd light the spoon and it wouldn't burn, I'd only run another jar and a half, and then I'd cut it off. And that's how I kept up with what proof, and bubbles, of course, just from the stuff you see on TV, and didn't want to Google a whole lot,
That's actually where the term proofing came from, because lighting it on fire with the spoon. They used to use a little bit of gunpowder in it, and then what water was left, that's what they ended up coming out with the word proof.
That's cool.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the best part about it. Getting the copper, making your own, doing it the old, fashion.
Yeah.
The history of it's what's very captivating for me.
That's moonshine, man. That's
Chris,
what.
there is a question up there. Can you see it a little bit better?
Yeah,
Dylan?
I may try to go next weekend. I may try to. I've been checking that one out. I met him at a trade show event. The gentleman that owns that, he's a super nice fella. He's actually got one of my coonpeckers. I gave him one. It was an honor to give him one. That dude is he's really cool. I got to talking to him, and his first steel he had was, I think he said it was a 3,000 gallon steel or something. It was crazy. I was like, yeah, I need to talk to this guy some more. Really nice fella.
So you've got.
Go ahead.
Nope. I was just going to say, you've got multiple things going on, and you keep saying, trade shows and stuff. And you mentioned that you as a brand ambassador. Some people may not know what brand ambassador is. So basically, in other words, you're a liquor rep. You go out,
yes, sir.
And you try to get that liquor for that company into other liquor stores, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you do tastings, all that stuff.
Promote it. And it's kind of tricky because you guys walk into a liquor store and you look on the shelves. There is so many kinds of liquor and so many companies. And it didn't used to be hardly any moonshines on the shelves at all. It's just kind of come about. And I think it's really cool that people, make good products, and they step out and they're like, okay, I want to show the world kind of what I can do. So I was proud to go out and spread that around, man, because it's personal. It's different than Jack, Jim, or George. It's, they've been around forever. Let these folks get out there. They make something good, be proud of it, and celebrate it, because moonshine's a personal thing to me.
Well, I know as far as me, it's personal. And I know talking with you said personal. I know a couple other guys that, really put their heart and soul into it. So.
I mean, when you get down to the brass tactics of things, and you spend, I mean, Phil, Levi, Dylan, how many times we've been down here? Just this last run, I went to go take my hose off. The worm snapped it, and it's like, we're getting water everywhere. It's a fucking mess, and you're pissed and you're sweating your ass off, and you're frustrated. Well, you're pissed off, but you end up slowing down things. I called Phil. I'm like, this is what happened. He's like, you're good. Just fix it. Slow down, fix it. So it ain't pretty, but I fixed it. And at the end of the day, it's like when you take that first drip, when you see that first drip, you can smell it coming, right? And you're excited and it drifts. And at the end of the day, you try it, and just to see somebody else try it and somebody else,
It's awesome.
That's really good.
Yeah,
That's what you want to hear.
That for me is why it's better, because you've got that passion into it. You're getting mad, you're getting pissed off because something didn't go right, but you're taking the time and fixing it and doing it right.
It's like every time you go to run, something happens. At least I don't know if it's just my.
No, sir, I was about to hit on that. You always knock yourself when something little happens.
Oh, for sure.
But every single time we've been somewhere and ran with somebody,
Something
some
happens.
way or some form, something happens. Look what happened when we went to John's.
Yeah, we had to level up my condenser
You
and
about
started dropping it on my fucking foot
Oh gosh.
with it being full of water.
But you end up at the end of that all that stress and all that, and people want to know, you're selling a quart for, $20, $30, $40. And it's like, I'm not just selling this liquor, right? I'm selling the heart and the fucking sweat and the sometimes blood that you're putting into, you know what I mean? How many coon peckers have you gone to is it Wither? Would that be right? Like, when you're sawing on them or whatever it is, how many times you cut yourself, or, you're doing those things and you're doing it with pride because you love to fucking do it, right? And that's to me, that's what I'm hearing.
Well, I mean, like,
It means something, man. It means something.
Has it ever
yes, you don't know
occurred to you that
kind of damn work.
What'd you say?
Popcorn said it best. He said, why the hell would anybody want to do this type of work? There ain't no money in this.
Whittling,
But it's
thank
the
you, Sean.
love in that for it.
Whittling's what I meant. But
whittling.
I get down on myself quick. And that's a fault that I have. But I will say moonshining has made me realize that you can get down on yourself, but at the end of the day, you can still do something successful, right? You can still, you might have dropped the worm on John Bentz's fucking foot and broke his foot and about broke it, $13,000 still. But at the end of the day, we had good fucking product that came out of that. He's
figured it out.
He's about to open up a dream. You got coonpecker Kris Fortner here. You're sick, you're down, you're depressed, you're hurting, and boom, you fall back to the moonshine art, and you're making these coonpeckers.
I mean, it's very therapeutic.
It is.
I mean, once you
That's what it was.
worked out finally, you're there, you're relaxing,
It's
you're seeing the
accomplished.
product coming off, you're smelling it. I mean, it's therapeutic.
I'll never forget Sean Rigsby. That was I went over to his place a couple times, or Big Easy's, and just to hear the pride that they had in their voice about the moonshine world. That's where my high moonshine soul came from. I didn't write it about me. I wrote it about the brotherhood, the sisterhood, it's just a family. It's a unique. I liked what you said. You're whittling these copper coon peckers because you want to be a part of the history of moonshine. So when someone has it sticking in their hat right here and someone wants to know what it is, you can sit there and you can have a 5-minute conversation. When they leave, they're going to look it up.
Yeah. They're going to dig a little bit and find a little bit out that I didn't tell them or couldn't tell them, and it'll intrigue them. And maybe, you never know, they'll tell somebody else and they'll tell somebody else, and keeping it alive from like the roots. Just,
that brings up a question that I have for you. So you came out with this cool product. I want to know, had you seen it before, and has anyone else tried to do it since you?
Yeah, actually recently I seen a web page that got sent to me by some friends that kind of, how the community is. We watch out for one another, several of us, and they sent me a website. This man, he's got money and made this big fancied up website, and he's making them and got them in a pouch too. And but it's you'll get that. I feel comfortable to say I think my peckers are the Nike in the business, or the they're original, and it's kind of flattering me that somebody wants to copy it. It must have been a all right idea.
It sounds weird that I say this, but I like your pecker, man.
It's one nice pecker. One nice pecker.
Yeah, my thing is people's going to copy you and everything else, but do I want to pay? And I don't know what that guy is charging, but do I want to pay, $65 for this from someone that I don't know and I don't have any type of relationship at all with, or do I want to hit up someone that's in a brotherhood and someone that is doing it for the right reasons? They just want to get a product out there to help someone. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
big money or, honest man living. So I'll buy it that way.
You think we get people all the time that ask us if we make money on the podcast all the time. Like, no, we've almost gotten divorced because of the podcast. So
it costs us money.
It costs a lot of money, but we do it because of nights like this, nights with Tracy Bumgardner, nights with John Bentz, Michaela, Sean Rigsby was just over here a couple weeks ago. Had a great time. Jason Kendall came over. Like, that's what this is all about, right? It's not. We don't give a fuck. Like, it's
the spirit.
It's the spirit, and that you can. I believe you can take that to the grave, right? You can take this to the grave, but you can't take that money.
Exactly.
Right.
That's
I mean, like,
I believe
we could all piss each other off all we want, but you let an outsider try to come
piss
in
me
and
off
do
a
that.
lot. I'm not gonna lie.
The whole damn community is coming in. We ain't letting no outsiders in. But
You piss me off a lot too.
I work at it. I try to.
You do.
So, Chris,
That's
you had
Phil's
another,
craft.
you had another question here from Megan Jones. She asked, how long does it take to make one pecker?
Well, honestly, I don't know. As crazy as it may sound, some of them take a little longer than the other. It just depends, because sometimes I go at it a little harder on them. It honestly, it really, I can switch hands too.
I don't know if you know this, but we are a rated G podcast.
No, we're not. Dr. Berg.
Can you give us an idea?
But seriously, my hands get sore and stuff. So sometimes it takes me longer. So I have to do them different, because I do make them by hand, and like, it's a lot of filing. I got me some better files. I don't know, probably 45 minutes to an hour, usually. But cool part, I've saved all my dust for making them, and I've got probably like 11.5 pounds of copper dust from making.
What are you gonna do with that?
I'm making like little boxes, and I'm sprinkling it in some corn, and I'm epoxying the corn in these boxes, and I'm sprinkling my dust in them, and I've been donating them to like charities and fundraisers and stuff. I donated one to the West North Carolina flood relief about I don't know, it was probably 3 weeks ago, a month ago, and it went to the auction, and it actually raised $300.
Oh wow!
So I've been kind of like putting a purpose behind using them. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just keep saving it, and if it hits me right, that's what I'm gonna do with some of it. It's kind of neat.
I was gonna say, have you thought about a small smelter and then making basically like an inglet and getting more out of it?
Thought about it. I've thought about it. I've thought about a few different little things to do with it. I come up with the corn idea because I'm making like bigger size coon peckers, and I'm putting them in the boxes, and like for distilleries, possibly, for the bigger condensers and things like that, or just like a conversation piece for the tabletop or something like that,
So John Holmes raccoons.
Yeah.
So when I know, John, you were talking about when we were talking about this interview. I know it seems like Kris is full of surprises, right? He's full of accomplishments.
There's a ton of them. I mean, I wrote some stuff down just to, I don't want it to really be an interview, because that's not what we do. You guys know that. But I want to make sure everything that he can get out tonight comes out because, or whatever he wants to put out there, because you got master distiller guys, you got moonshiner guys, you got the guys just doing it for the love of it, and then people bringing these awesome products out that everybody needs the viewers and everything like that. So and that's a couple other things that I did write down. Of course, he's already said where to buy them. Now, are you selling them too?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I do.
So
Like
I know
if
you
somebody,
was, but
yeah, if they want like a personal something to them on a pouch or something like that, or different size or something, people hit me up, and some people just want to hit me up. And it's either way. I appreciate each and every one I get to put in the world of moonshine. It means a lot to me.
Do you make the pouches?
No, it's really cool how that come about. There was a gentleman that done leather work and stuff that his business was really slow. And you know how you can just talk to a fella and tell that he needs something. And I'd been doing the coon peggers for a while, and I was trying to come up with a better way for people to be easier for them to have, other than put them in a hat or just in their pocket. And I talked to him about if he could make me something, similar to what I had drew up, that I would get them from him and it'd help his business too. So I fed another man that makes leather work out of his hands and helped put some food on his table doing it too as well.
That's
So it's been pretty special, man.
that's what it's
Honestly.
about, sharing it all the way around.
yeah.
Yeah.
When we get open here, I hope to, have maybe 5 on hand that if someone wants to buy one, it's here. So
And I think that's what it's all about. I mean, we keep talking about these, I think, beautiful points of, the art of moonshine and the honesty and the honor it is to be a part of something like this. You look at, I was wearing our American whiskey shirt. We ended up putting Burned Out Winery on one sleeve. We're putting John Bentz's logo for Firehouse Shine on the other. And I had someone the other day, I was like, why would you do that? That's a great question.
Why?
Let me tell you why.
Why did you make the podcast?
Well, we put them on there because they're family. You're selling these shirts, making a little bit of money, not much, right? Just enough to get some more shirts, but you're sharing your brothers and your sisters' businesses, and you're helping people, right? You're showing people, like, hey, did you make this pouch for their coon pecker? No, but let me tell you who did. And that just opens up a whole nother avenue.
Yeah. It's cool because it's old tradition stuff. It's really special that I think a lot of people get so busy in this world we got now that a lot of that gets forgotten. And it's a lot of folks are really talented, and it gets smothered out so much by some of the talents that don't get to show off anymore because it's easy to just order, different things that's not made that way. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I know, getting into this, basically, you're getting the enjoyment out of it. You're making very little off of it. But there was something that came about a while back because of this. Something about like fourth place in something. Do you want to let them know what that was?
There was a contest that actually got sent to me, and it was an entrepreneur of impact for 2024, and I put my information in there and ended up in the contest, and I made it through like 6 cuts, I think it was. Ended up in 4th place overall, and the winner actually got a write-up in the Forbes magazine and got to sit with the folks, off of Shark Tank and stuff. But heck, I was proud to make it to 4th place with a coon pecker. It was kind of crazy I made it that far, but I've had a few other windows and doors open along the way, just crafting.
Yep.
So
Now,
go ahead, John.
I was just going to ask if you knew how many people was in that entrepreneur.
I was going to ask. Yeah.
Okay.
Thousands.
Yeah.
It was a lot of folks, a lot of different folks. There was a few in the moonshine community that was in it as well. I honestly voted for them. Didn't even vote for myself, just because, like, I swear, it's just that's how I am. It was kind of neat though to make it that far because I never would have dreamed that I made it fourth place. It was wild, but
I
that's
think
kind of
it's hard to believe I mean, it would have been hard to believe you won it. I mean,
Right.
I think what you're doing here is incredible. But I think, you're the best person that could have done this, right? You're the best dude that could have came up with this idea because you did it for the right reasons. And I think those right reasons pay off, right? May not be financially, maybe it is, but it's the relationships. But my question for you is, have you patented this? Have you thought about patenting this?
well. I got into the patent game when it first come about because everybody's like, "Oh my God, that's like such a good idea. You need to patent it." And I went and talked to a patent attorney, and we did patent searches. She did all that stuff, and I talked to her a few days ago after I found out the other gentleman had done it too. And it just cost so much money. And for like a guy like me at the time, I was sick and stuff, so it's hard to just come up with that kind of money. I've not had the money, so I just rocked on, man, and just kept making them and just did my thing.
I love to hear the birds in the background, by the way.
Yeah.
You
Now-
got some loud ass birds.
Is that something you're looking forward or looking to do going forward, or is it something you're just going to continue to do out of love?
I'm looking into it. I'm in the process actually of getting some patent and trademark and copyright kind of things going on. I'm an old country boy, so this is all. I don't know much about that part of business stuff, but I'm
gonna
learning.
say, there's something that, and Tracy could help you with a lot of that. I know he could. But there's something that you can throw in there on that patent. I forget what the heck he called it, but basically, it's promising someone that, if you make if they want one, you make it and give it to them basically, and then it's almost like pre-selling. I guess would be the better way to say it. Is that something you thought, or you would think that you could do to help raise that money for that, or
Yeah,
don't
possibly.
really want to say investors because I would hate to see a bunch of people come in on your
Well,
product that you made.
the coolest part about it is honestly, no two are the same. I don't have a pattern. So like it's honestly each one's different just a little bit in some kind of way. I actually use my son's hatchet to shape them. That's how I shape them. I don't have a big bender or anything. I've just
Is your son
found out a way.
hatching? Is it hatching? Hatcheting?
Hatchet.
But
Yeah, I use.
your copper, do you owe him a new hatchet?
No, honestly, it's still good shape. I've just kind of used it. It's all hand tools, and that was just one that I picked up from the beginning and got the shape that I wanted with. So I just kind of keep using it. It's pretty cool.
So
Is that your plan to stay all hand tools?
Yeah, as much as I can. I've got hit with some pretty good size orders, and I've made it this far. My hands has got sore. That's why I was saying the comment about the switching hands, because sometimes I really have to. Like I hold so many, you make 100 at a time.
Well, Kris, the good news here is you're on a podcast that considers everyone we get on family, and we know John here is good with both hands as well.
yeah,
if
he's
you ever need
great.
help.
I mean, John, honestly, he does. I've had a lot of hands, and his hands are the best. Two-handed John.
Hey,
Oh goodness.
just today I got
They might
what
be
is it?
little.
Corn husk,
They're mighty.
corn husk oil or whatever on them for doing fingerprints. When I went and got my fingerprints, she said, "Your hands are dry. Put some of this corn husk oil or lotion or whatever it is on them." So, I mean,
He's like, I just spit on it. Sorry about that. You know what we forgot to do? I'm disappointed.
What are we sipping
What
on?
are we sipping on?
Uh,
Go with Mr. Coonpacker. What are you sipping on? That's a fucking gallon jug.
Oh, yeah.
this is sweet corn. It's really good.
That might be the best description I've ever heard. Yeah, that's
Damn, and look at that tip back.
What, he wants to play around? Give me a clear jar with it. Actually, give me one of Sean Rigsby's. I haven't tried one of those.
Hey, why don't you just get?
You don't have a jar that big.
Yeah, he does.
What's up?
Hey, Sturge, why don't you just grab the jug from the other day? Hold on, he's got you.
Yeah, I've created a few other things. I've seen the comment from Christopher. I've got cups and buttons and different things.
I'm sipping on some apple pie
I'm
from
just
Josh Jones.
I'm just going nice and simple, natural like tonight.
I just got a little Crown Royal salted caramel.
Ben's making fun of you.
I'm just having a little sip of this is
Unproofed.
anybody else?
I couldn't even hold that thing.
Well,
Oh.
I would say
There
my
you go.
blueberry, but
A lot on camera. Sorry about that.
I'll just stick with 555 tonight. So
There you go.
I'll be making old fashioned soon.
I was gonna say you don't have one. What's the issue?
Yeah, you
What's the
normally
issue?
always have one.
Are you not feeling
Well,
well?
I got beer and I have the kid's in here to make one, so I'll be making it soon. So.
I said one drink at a time.
All right, we're gonna all sip on Sean Rigsby's.
Are you trying to puke tonight?
I actually like it.
I know, I'm kidding.
Is it Sean Rigsby's
It is. It's the
Sugarland?
Bloodline Berry Infused Moonshine. I enjoy it.
I haven't tried that. I've heard it's good.
I got you. You want a jar? I got another jar.
Hey, remember Sean still owes me a jar.
It gets really, a lot better if you put it in the freezer. So I don't know if it's because of the berries coming out or what, but
I like it.
freezer brings it out a lot better.
Heck yeah. I had another cool thing happen from these coonpeckers. I was in my town, and I've got like an area of my town that's really artsy, a lot of crafty kind of folks. And this lady approached me, and she's a fashion designer out of like California, and she just moved here in the area, and she's trying to help like the textile industry, the hands-on textile industry, And she was telling me about this fabric that was woven all by hand, no machinery or nothing like that. And they were discussing about making like a heirloom clothing line with the fabric. But they were wanting to do it like all hands-on kind of stuff. And she asked me if I would be interested in like designing some buttons or some buckles or something like that for it. And I said, that'd be cool. Yeah, why not? And then it developed, and that's supposed to start up in June, but they asked me to do it and 3 other crafters, but I'm not allowed to use anything but my hands and all hand tools. And they're filming everything that we do. And then after I committed to it, I was like, oh crap. What if they hit me up with like 500 buttons or buckles? Then what am I going to do,
Is that going to Beverly Hills?
Call in.
I'm not
I was gonna say, call us. We'll help.
Yeah,
I will.
in.
For sure.
We damn will.
We will.
You
We'll
can
load
ask
up.
John. We are Billy. We've gone to some when it was just you and I. Well, Doug's a part of it, but he doesn't travel. But we went to Tennessee in a 10-hour notice.
Heck yeah.
You left.
That's how you do.
Really message us on a Friday night,
I need help.
and if we weren't too hammered, we'd be like, "All right,
On the
let's
way.
go."
And
and
or
even
we'd be
now-
down and fall asleep. And
Even
come back.
now, we have Levi. We'll be like, "Hey, we're drunk, but you're driving us."
Yeah, 100%. It's super nice to have a producer that's 18
Because first off, we treat him like dog shit. But second off, he drives us fucking everywhere.
Hey, it builds character.
It does.
Yeah.
We treat him like,
Levi, will you give me a beer?
Builds character. You wait till you're in a hotel room with them and they start yelling back and forth.
So, first off,
That's a
John,
good time. A good
John,
time.
you yelled at us first.
I
So-
said, go to sleep.
You don't tell us to go to sleep. It's a bad combo.
I woke up at 5 in the fucking morning hearing you and Levi fucking around. I was like, dude, we got to get up at 6:30. You're like, yeah, I'm going to go to bed.
Yeah, but the sad part is I'm actually sleeping in the bed that they're wrestling on top of me.
I know.
I'm just going to sleep. I'm not even messing.
But, okay, hold on. I haven't hit him on this yet, but I'm going to tonight, Phil. He acts like the innocent party in all this. As he's laying there, out of nowhere, Phil's like, heard you wouldn't.
Yeah, I was dreaming that.
No, you weren't. And then I'd run in there, jump on Levi, and he'd be like, son, you're fucked now.
Sorry, Chris. This is, how it goes here.
It's all good. Real life.
They're weird fellas.
Well, that was that was like, what, a week notice? And we're like, hey,
I don't even think it was a week. Dude.
It was a couple
It was like
days.
3 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. So you're not that far of a quick weekend trip. We definitely do it. Absolutely.
Chug a chug.
You got to take a good drink if you take a drink.
That's right. So what is something that you find interesting in the moonshine world? Like, since you've been a part of it, what is just something super intriguing that you like to share?
I don't know. It's like everybody has their own way of doing things, and it's cool. Because I don't know. It's like it intrigues me that you can change one thing about one thing, and you're doing something different. Kind of. I mean, you don't want to. Me personally, like as the honor part, I don't want to do what everybody else is doing. Yeah. But I mean, I can take your knowledge and learn from what knowledge you tell me or anybody tells me, and be like, okay, this is what happened when he did that, and this is what happened when this guy done that. So I'm going to try this way and do that. And I love that because you can twist that and turn that in thousands of ways. And
that's what I've always told Sturge. When I try to help him, I'm like, hey, this is what I do. Now you take that and try it or just build off of it or whatever.
You do a really good job. You're super subtle, and you're John, and like I've never felt that you're better than anyone, but you always willing to walk people through, and that's why I love it. I'll never forget calling you one time, and I was like, dude, I got 150 proof moonshine. I was going to take jalapenos from my garden, cut them up, put them in a jar, let them sit in my fridge. Like, what do you think? And you're like, I've never heard of someone doing that, but give it a shot. Well, I end up putting them in thumper jars and running moonshine through it. Jason Kendall's the first one. Came out with this. It was accident. People were like, oh, you should do that. I was like, well, I did it. And
4 runs later,
Jason Kendall, dude's like, I couldn't keep this shit stocked up. And he asked me to make another run of Ohio Blue Corn one time. So I go to make the run. I cleaned the whole fucking still in and out. Well, it was seasoned with jalapeno. But it's still sitting in my shed today. If I go out there and I grab that and I go to run it, it will have a hint of jalapeno to it. And
I did something.
It is so
I
good.
did something interesting a while back. I had a bunch of shortbread cookies gave to me, like a bunch, like 6,000 of them, and mashed in with them. And I don't know if you read the ingredients on a shortbread cookie, they're loaded up with oil. And when you mash in with oil, anything with extra oil, it can be messy. But being a friend of mine, we took a stab at it, and I learned so much doing that because it's just straight shortbread cookies. Well, naturally, the oil in it came up just like it should have. And I had to figure out a way to keep all that oil from going into the pot and stuff, and come up with a neat idea of putting ice in it, chilled the mash, and it actually hardened the oil.
Solidifying.
Yep,
Yeah.
and it got a lot of the oil out, and it worked freaking
How-
fantastic. You could
Come
taste the oven. Really good. You could taste the oven in them, man. It was like super good.
Now, see, you actually wouldn't have to take that oil out of there because kind of like water molecules, it carries a flavor. And
It was
also, I didn't know some of these guys, and it's more along old timers. And you may have heard this before, especially with your relationship with JB. But if you get something that's going to foam a lot, some of these old timers would actually take and throw a stick of butter in there, so that butter would melt and hold that foam down.
So you say it's gonna foam. What do you mean?
Well, some mashes when you run them, I mean, some of them foam up pretty heavy.
Yep.
And they can puke out into your, especially if you run like on my brandies, I run that 45 arm and no thumper, so you could possibly puke out. Some of them old timers just throw a stick of butter in there and it holds that, it melts and that oil floats on top and holds that foam from being able to bubble up.
It was so messy.
Then you'll get some buttery blueberry.
That's right. Buttery blueberry. Who doesn't like a
But yeah, I've had some, just like you said, that had so much oil on them. Which one was it? Jimmy Red or was it Bloody Butcher?
Jimmy Red.
I think it was Jimmy Red. And then my pecan one that I done, my smoked pecan, all kinds of oil in it.
Can you do me a favor, John?
Yo.
Can one time you make a blueberry recipe and make the logo, on the where that girl blows up as a blueberry? And Willie Wonka put John's face on the blueberry.
Oh yeah, that'd be perfect.
That would be such.
I mean, that could be on my next T-shirt. It could say the Blueberry King, and then me up there.
We're putting your logo. We're putting Burnout on one sleeve, but you're going on the back, and it's gonna be a giant fucking blueberry with your face on it. Can I do
somewhere on my phone, I have the. I was using AI, looking at different logos and shit, and I typed in firefighter, and then I typed in blueberry, and I put something about mean blueberry or something like that, and it was an actual blueberry guy, and he had a helmet on and a fire coat on, and he's like this, real muscular.
You should have used that.
Oh yeah,
John Man's deep in.
Bullshit. So I think this was a really intriguing episode. This is something that it was different. This is different, and it's really cool. So there's a question that I always ask. We got away from it for a while. I mean, this is going back with Jason Kendall, which I know he says what's up to everybody but us. But hey, Jason, nice to see you on here. And I listened to your guys' podcast yesterday. It was good. It was good. Good to see you guys on there. But something that from day one from American Whiskey, when I started it, I always asked anybody that was on there that was new, what's something that you love about America?
The honor. I don't know. A true American is honored to be an American, and there's so many things that has honor in them. But when you see it, and honestly, moonshine to me is one of the last things that still got a lot of that in it. So there's so many things that need so much more honor about being American. We need to be who we are and be proud of it, and watch out for each other. I don't know if that answered it good enough, but
what do you mean? I think that's perfect.
I don't think I've ever heard honor before.
No, not once. And I think it's interesting because, I think the habit of an American is to complain, right? And you went through a lot, bro. You went through doing something that you love. You said, were you picking blueberries, or what'd you say you were picking?
Possum grapes, actually.
You're picking possum grapes. You're out in the woods doing something that you love. And, I call it the devil. The devil put something on your shoulder to bring you down. You didn't let it do it. and you rose to the occasion, instead of falling into something bad or
Yes.
you fell into whittling some copper, and now it sounds like people from other countries. I think I heard correctly, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
50 states and all these things. I think that you're the definition of honor, and I think
Thank you.
to understand that even when you're on your darkest moments or you're depressed or you're sad or you're financially fucked and you don't know what you're going to do, or you lost a job and you're fucked and you don't know what to do, or you're trying to figure out how to pay a fucking light bill, or you're trying to just figure shit out. You got bit by a fucking tick doing something you love, but you fall back to the things that you love because you don't give up. And that, to me, is fucking honor. And I think that you are the definition of that.
Thanks, man.
We got hit upside the head with a lemon. He said, "Fuck it, I'm making some lemon."
And now you got people all over the fucking world with your fucking coon peckers, dude.
I appreciate each and one I get to put out there, man. It means more to me than any dollar I've made from it. Hopefully I can keep putting them out there just as hard as I have. They all mean a lot.
I want to send you. I know this is silly, but whatever. I want to send a T-shirt your way. So we're gonna get with you. But dude, I really appreciate having you on, John. Again, thanks for the legwork, bro. I know you don't have to do that. But this was a really good episode. And anybody out there that's wants to hear a good story, just hit rewind if you just answered, because you'd hear a good one from Kris Fortner tonight.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you guys having me. Thank you. Anytime too, holler at me. We'll do it again. It was really cool.
How about this? Anytime you want to get on a podcast, because here's the thing, John, you hit it earlier. And first off, I want to apologize because I called it an interview, but that's never what we do here. We don't know.
Okay.
John said we always hang out. That's what it's all about. So I do apologize, John. You corrected me there, but anytime you want to get on here, we just did it with Michaela a couple months ago. Look at Michaela; she's on here doing Friday night specials on American on Whiskey. So, we do have a good episode coming Friday, a true crime episode with Michaela. So make sure you guys tune into that. Dylan, you got something to say?
It'll be after.
Okay. You guys don't have to hop off here, but I want to try to keep these episodes. We do sometimes. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something, Coon Pecker Kris.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes if we don't catch ourselves, it's 2 hours, 3 hours deep.
I got you.
My wife has officially set that limit for me now. She's like, because I wake up like dog shit. But I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you getting on here. You guys got anything to say?
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah,
it's great. It's great.
Yeah, it was an honor, Kris.
Appreciate it, guys. Anytime you need anything, holler at me. I'm a real one.
I need you to send us a coon pecker because I lost fucking peanuts over here.
I'll fix you up. If you want, I can get a pouch made with, American whiskey on.
About that long.
First off, how about I will take the pouch. First off, we'll talk after the show because I do want an American whiskey pouch. That's badass.
Gotcha.
But I appreciate everybody listening tonight. Again, if you didn't listen to the beginning of this podcast, go back and listen. I'm going to be uploading this tonight on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. I'm going to do a better job at that. I have people asking why I don't, because
time consuming.
Because life.
Yeah, I'm a shitty fucking host. That is why. So I'm trying to do better. But if you guys, I'm feeling my feels tonight, so I've been feeling a little down. So I appreciate you, Kris.
No problem, brother. Appreciate you.
I think what you have to share, you should keep doing your thing, bro. Keep doing this. If there's anything that we can ever do as a part of a team that you can see right here, we are such a big team that not everyone's sitting here today. I mean, we got the same family. We've got Burned Out in general. John Bentz, he's not here every Tuesday. We got, the Joneses, Vaughn Davis. We got so many people. We've got Still Talking. We've got so many people that we consider family. If there's anything you fucking need,
we'll be there.
You let us know.
Same here, man. You never know. Something might happen. I might need some hands and stuff. I'm making cups and stuff too. And
as long as it's not involving hands and peckers,
I got you.
As long as it's
But
copper.
Dylan's definitely there. Justice League, he'll definitely be there.
What's up,
Yeah.
Tracy?
Both hands.
You know,
Got
What's up, man?
we've talked on the phone several times, and we've shared some stuff that I'll just say if you need anything else, don't let people bring you down, man.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of them out there that will and that will try. So if you need anything else, you just yell at one of us.
Gotcha.
You know,
You can yell at all. We'll
100%.
come as a unit, baby. I'll tell you that.
like I
Hell
said, I'm not.
It's bad.
I said it to someone earlier. I'm not everybody's favorite person, so it don't bother me for someone to be upset with me.
I'm the same. Yeah.
Also, by the way, we've got these hoodies that are American flag with our logo on it that has a beer koozie. So if anyone's interested, holler. I'm super excited.
Heck yeah.
So you guys stick around. We'll still chat. I'm Big Sturge.
Dougie Fresh.
Justice League.
Peanut.
John Bentz.
Coonpecker Chris.
Chris, and we are
American
Whiskey.
Whiskey.
Bye, guys.